Yeah, no, the journey that this book records is it's a public journey in that it's a work of science journalism and history, but it's also a personal journey. I began with the typical journalistic curiosity, and I was interviewing people who were participating in these trials at NYU and at Johns Hopkins. We met in Baltimore when I was doing reporting. Yeah, that's when we first met. And I was talking to people, many of who were psychedelically naive, who had had these powerful, transformative experiences. There were people who were dying. There were cancer patients in some cases. There were smokers. And there were so-called healthy normals. And all of them, well, not all of them, but about 80% of them had had this very powerful experience that left them changed. And as I talked to them, I became intensely curious about how a molecule could account for such a psychological shift, a complete change in perspective. But over time, I actually grew to envy the people I was interviewing, that they had these big spiritual epiphanies, and I've never had one. I had never had one. I always thought of myself as kind of spiritually retarded. And so I got really jealous of them, and that's when I decided that to write about this properly, I would have to educate myself and have a series of psychedelic journeys, and that those, they proved to be transformative.